Adrian?
No response.
Adrian?
Still, nothing.
Adrian!
Satan slapped his eldest across the backside of his head.
No, you didn't.
Does Adrian make out with every hot girl he meets? That was really annoying Michelle when they were dating, but I guess since they aren't together anymore, it's okay. But still, is that normal? But then again, it gets weirder when Adrian says this.
What? You're getting married in less than a month? I think I was entitled to that. Besides, I've been trapped in a flask with Cassius for 3 years. I am ready to screw the next cadaver. I am alone in the room.
My question is, if Cassius tried to do anything with Adrian while they're in...
Ugh! Adrian is not gay!
But I'm trying to say if Cassius...
Ugh!
I'll be quiet.
After another awkward silence, Crystal suggests that Adrian and Michelle should unpack. Adrian tries to seduce Michelle, but once again it is rejected. Which leaves him to myself!
Oh, no. Okay? We're not doing this bit again.
Please, how can I not resist him?
Okay, you can have a little bit of fun. Who else wants to take reign on this review?
Me! Big B! Big B! Big B!
Anyone?
Me! Big B! Big B! I'm ready! Pick me!
Not you.
I never get anything good anymore.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm back. Michelle wants to check on her friend Melody, who might be mortally traumatized after that passionate kiss. The conversation goes like this. Melody?
Michelle quietly approached her friend.
He's terrifying. That was the most horrible, awful, painful moment I've ever experienced in my entire life. And in front of Mother.
Squealed Melody, tears springing to her gentle eyes. Her hands flew to her mouth, hovering about her cheeks as she quaked with fear. Harmony and Peace might have been Mischieva's little sisters, but they could see when their sister honestly needed comfort.
I'm sorry, Melody. I should have told you how crude he can be.
Melody turned to Michelle.
It's not like he's ever been crude to you. He would never.
Melody stopped before she revealed too much to her sister.
Melody, he's not that bad, and I'm sure he was just joking.
Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy. But I just made out with you, but I was joking. Gosh, Adrian's one real flirt. So, Melody's sisters and Michelle try to comfort Melody and gossip about Michelle's misadventures she had with Adrian, and that somehow makes Melody feel better. Harmony, when Melody's sisters offer to talk to Adrian, Adrian also forces himself on her, but Michelle catches him, and this happens.
Laughing to himself, Adrian swept to her neck, alternatively biting and licking the silky skin. Finally, as if waking from a dream, the young angel wrenched herself away, cast in a horrified look, and fled from the room. Adrian laughed darkly, running his tongue along his rather sharp teeth.
Michelle, if you were jealous, you could have told me to stop.
Michelle removed the invisibility robe. It was her who had slipped into Harmony's mind, just enough to loosen Adrian's power over her. Who knows what would have happened had she not intervened.
You and I both know you wouldn't have stopped if she could pull away. You have enough sexual appetite to lay on 1,000 women and you're not satisfied, and you expect me to let you two continue?
Michelle stepped closer to Adrian, finally facing up to him for the first time since he had left the flask.
Do I look like the sort of woman that would let you do that on a poor girl?
Adrian took a step closer to her.
Look like the kind of woman who experienced love, and now it pains her to know that her love is going to be married to her best friend instead. But why?
Adrian was now close enough to Michelle to pick the hint of lavender up, and he inhaled the scent completely. He looked down at the girl, his smile turning a bit on the vicious side.
Why is it that you're planning just to sit back and watch as I marry some other girl who I don't love, and she obviously doesn't love me at all? Do you care so little about me and your friend?
Okay, there's a lot I have to say about this part. Why does Adrian think toying with other girls will win Michelle over? He knows that Michelle's his watchdog. Not only that, he's always saying he loves her, and yet he continues to toy with other women. However, Adrian does have a point, but it contains something revealed in later chapters. But I'm going to talk about it anyway, because it's the most stupid thing in the story. If Michelle uses her physical voice towards Adrian, she will become his slave and live in hell for eternity. If that's the case, and she really loves him, why not do so? Why can't Adrian and Michelle use this to their advantage? So we have another sad crying scene. Oh, and get this. Apparently it was Michelle's choice that either Adrian or Cassius get married to Melody, but she chose Adrian because she loved him so much. Hey, I got a better idea. Why didn't Michelle release both of them? Let Cassius get married to Melody. Well, that way Michelle can love Adrian and everyone is happy. Well, except for me because Adrian is mine. Adrian is flattered by Michelle's confession and pulls her into another passionate kiss. Then he declares that both of them will take over hell once again. That's how Chapter 4 ends. Things get even dumber in Chapter 5 and the story starts to fall apart. Chapter 5 opens up with a really awkward dinner in heaven.
Supper was tense, even more so than at Nikki's home. Fresh vegetables and bread were served, along with exquisitely dressed stuffed peppers. Adrian managed a few bites of pepper. His appetite was roaring, and the discomfort he was causing was delicious enough to liven up the boring meal. Crystal struggled to find level ground with him, something safe about which they could discuss.
So, Adrian, you seem like a nice man.
She started off slowly.
Is there any recreations you prefer?
Recreations?
Asked Adrian somewhat politely. He smiled as he said,
Indeed, I have quite few recreations I prefer. Some which include torture, wreaking havoc on Earth, but only on weekends. You must know how an awful trip it is. And of course, sparring with an stray angel guardians I run into.
Awkward silence.
He ignored the look he was receiving from his father as he saw the small hint of an amused smile play havoc with Michelle's lips. The way the hidden smirk lit up her eyes captivated Adrian. How he missed to see that mischievous look on her face. Crystal coughed in her hand, and neither Michelle nor Adrian could tell if it was from surprise or amusement.
Have you considered where you and Melody are going to stay?
She asked, dearly hoping he would prefer heaven. She would only be so lucky.
Why, hell, of course.
Adrian replied instantly.
I can't live with the temperature here, and it's far too quiet. I can't possibly fall asleep without someone screaming somewhere in the background.
We could arrange for Michelle to scream until you fall asleep.
Satan suggested in slight mirth. Michelle choked on her food and glared at him in response.
If she could scream, I would say.
He added hurriedly, forgetting about her condition.
I swear he's losing his mind more and more with each passing day.
Adrian told her dryly.
If I know that you can still talk by now, that will be a major tip-off.
I don't want to live in hell.
Melody said finally, speaking for the first time since supper began.
I like it here in heaven, thank you. And I think it's a bit unfair that you want me to leave my home for hell.
Her spirit, though, was matched by her fiancé's.
I don't think it's fair to blackmail me into marrying a woman I do not love. I hate the idea of living in heaven just as much, if not as more, than you hate the idea of living in hell.
I'm not very fond of this agreement either, Adrian, but it is our duty to wed in order to bring the two warring planes to peace and...
Oh, please, Melody, don't tell me that's they sold you.
Adrian nearly laughed at her naivety.
If it's anyone's responsibility to bring peace to the two planes, it's Michelle. She's the chosen one, and according to the prophecy in both planes, she will be the one who will end the divine war, not us. I personally could care less about the war. It's not my fault, and if it was up to me, I'd keep it running for another couple thousand years, seeing if we could wipe out.
Oh, yeah! I forgot there was a war that was completely pointless to the story. And chosen one? What is Michelle anyway? How is she the chosen one? Well, it's never brought up again, but I thought it would be okay to add it to the Mary Sue litmus test.
Your character is a Mary Sue if she is some sort of chosen one.
The argument gets more heated and Satan suggests that Adrian and Melody should live on Earth, which is another stupid idea because if heaven's too cold for Adrian, I'm pretty sure that Earth is much more worse for both of them. Not only that, it can possibly tear both of their worlds apart. Then, the author creates this weird scene.